And just like that, the marathon is over and the celebration begins. This is the 8:05 post show here from the Wallex US Open of Surfing presented by Pacifico. A beautiful moment. Our champion, Eli Hanneman, soaking it all in. What a moment for this young surfer on top of the world, skyrocketing up the rankings of the Challenger Series, doing it for his family, his friends, for Hawaii. Probably the biggest day in this young surfer's life. And now it's time to break it all down. A lot to unpack. We're going to have a good time here on the 8:05 Post Show. I'm Chris Cote. This is the Waxhead, Matt Chanowski. That's Mitchell Salazar, the guy who picked both of our winners. Don't think I didn't remember that. So, wow, 9 days of competition in. We end with 4 incredible finals. A really great mix of surfing. We had grace, we had beauty, we had style, we had progression, power. Really something for every type of surf fan. So let's get right into it. That last final, I think that, I wouldn't necessarily call Eli an underdog, but in terms of beach support and kind of hype levels, you would think that Crosby was going into that as the favorite, but that story quickly turned in Eli's favor.
It was unbelievable. My notes had changed, then transitioned throughout the whole event, really. Eli had showed some explosiveness and some dynamic surfing, but to carry that on and on and on and to get the highest heat total of the whole event by the end of it in that final, what a fitting way to win that final.
Dropping the highest score of the men's side, too, in the final. A 9-point ride, backs it up with the 8.1. Talk about peaking at the right moment, Chris. He did it right there, and I just feel like right now he's over the moon. It's obviously the biggest win of his career so far, but he proved a point right here, too. A lot of people doubted his skills when it came to competitiveness, being in a jersey. That's no longer the case. He's up there right in the top of the rankings and looking for a shot to qualify for 2024.
Absolutely. Eli has always been a threat in a jersey, but that has since magnified with a huge win like that. Let's take a look at how Eli Hanneman became the champion here at the Wallex US Open of Surfing. No easy task if you look at all the names he had to go through. Last year's runner-up, or 2 years ago, runner-up Jake Marshall, he went through him in the quarters. Then he went through the event favorite, hands down, Kanoa Igarashi, a 2-time winner here. Eli took him out in the semis all the way to the finals, where you're absolutely right, Mitch. He peaked at the right time. This is how he started it. I mean, flying out of the gates. Did some of the best airs we've seen of the entire week. And he did them right at the appropriate time. These waves did not look super easy to surf, but he put on an incredible show for all of us.
He just looked so explosive, came right out of the gates, and look at that, just looked up the judges, wanted that 9, and just so much unpredictability the whole event. And you're right, Mitch, just peaking at the right time is the best just way to sum it up, because he's just so aggressive, but he had this weight transfer that looked effortless, carrying flow throughout these radical maneuvers.
And you know what happened, too? It just seemed like his confidence was sky high in the final, too. After getting the better of the opening exchange, Crosby wasn't able to answer back. His best right there, 5.67, still didn't break combo. Had a high 3 at the beginning of this heat that we're looking at on screen, but Eli Hanneman had the best performance in his life at the end of the event, and he made it through from the round of 80, as you mentioned, too. Had to surf as many heats as anybody else, Chris.
Well, and for Crosby Colapinto, of course that's going to sting in front of his hometown crowd, but I think the main takeaway for Cros is that now there is the belief, right? He's had some real up and down results throughout this year on the Challenger Series. With the second place finish here, huge points. He jumps up the leaderboard here. So this is what we're looking at right now for the Men's Challenger Series. Your top 5 is Cole Houshman, Jacob Wilcox, Crosby Colapinto, Eli Hanneman. Look at that. Our top 2 finishers. And we've been talking about that all week long, right? A big result here can change everything. You go down the line to number 10, Joan Duru. Of course, this is all going to switch up even more. Cole Houshman, he is qualified for the 2024 Championship Tour. And now we're just waiting to see who's going to join him up there in that rookie class, which we know is going to be stacked. So with that, now it's time for the real celebration to begin. Our award ceremony here from the Wallex US Open of Surfing presented by Pacifico. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you so much, Chris. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. Did you guys have a good day? Oh, we love it. You fans are incredible. We love being here in Surf City, USA. Welcome to the official awards presentation for the Walex US Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico, a 9-day surfing festival that's kicked off last weekend, and it was incredible. We had great waves. There was no Huntington hop this year. The sandbar was insane, and we absolutely scored. We know we've been surf-starved in California for a couple of months, and everything came together. We couldn't be happier. Big thanks to the local crew for giving us your lineup for 9 days of competition and all the support from a lot of the heroes from this event, from two-time U.S. Open champ Brett Simpson, who didn't even miss a heat. So thank you so much. This event is important for the Challenger Series for qualification. Stop number 4 out of 6. Also being a prestigious U.S. Open title that has gone on for many years. It officially was branded the U.S. Open back in '94. And we have so many great stories, from Lisa Anderson beating her hero, Frida Zamba, who was the best out here at the time. Also Lane Beachley, her longtime rival, getting big wins. The great rivalry with Kelly and Shane Beshin in the title race, where Kelly paddled around Shane and when a world title was on the line. And so many more to look forward to in the future. Officially, WSL would like to formally recognize that Huntington Beach is the traditional homelands and shared territory of the Ahashiman and Tongva peoples. It is known by the place name Lukupagma in the Ahashiman and Tongva languages. The Ahashiman people have lived in the place we call Orange County for over 10,000 years, and we are still here stewarding the land alongside surfers, environmentalists, and others who care about our shared coastline. We thank them for their ongoing presence and participation in this event. Thank you so much. Big thanks to our partners, our title partner, Walex, and our presenting partner, Pacifico. Thank you so much. All of our event partners. Yeah, let's get behind them, making this event possible. Cup Noodles, Hurley, 805 Beer, Red Bull, Sambazon, Shiseido, Surfshark, Yeti, Aloha Collection, Aventon e-bikes, Board and Brew, Boxed Water, DeVille Canned Cocktails, Feel Goods, FlexFit, Fujifilm, Huntington Surf and Sport, Jack Surfboards, Nixon Watches, Pura Vida, Ralph's, Tractor Beverage Company, USAF 330th Special Warfare, Visit Huntington Beach, William Grant and Sons, Professional Tech Ball, Tractor Soda, Victoria White, and U Theory. Let's give them a round of applause. Special thank you to our WSL One Ocean community partners, Native Like Water, Orange County Coastkeeper, Surfrider Foundation, and Wild Coast. And a special thank you to IMG and all the event staff that make this 9-day festival possible, and the city of Huntington Beach for hosting us once again. Thank you for our athletes providing us a big show all week, and the local community for giving everything for us in the water and on land. We got some really cool people up here with me today. Travis Logie still got it, by the way. He could have put a jersey on, no worries. Thanks for all you do, Trav, for the sport. WSL Senior Manager of Tours and Competition. Let's hear it for Travis Logie. And jumping over to Will Hayden Smith. Thanks, man. You've been around for a long time. You made great decisions in this event. Always great to have your company. WSL Senior Manager and Global Development Tours. Thank you so much. We also got Mayor Strickland here from Huntington Beach. Always fun hanging out with you. Thanks for being a great host for us and helping us with our runner-up trophies for the presentation. Let's hear it for the mayor. You all remember the goofy foot over there, Jesse Miley Dyer, Chief of Sport of the Tour. Thanks again for all your dedication to the sport. Let's hear it for Jess. We also have Bob Kane and Emily Hoffer here. We've got Bob Kane, WSL Chief Legal Officer and Operating Officer as well. Thank you so much, Bob. And big thanks to Emily for your kindness and your dedication to the World Surf League, our WSL Chief People and Purpose Officer. Let's hear it for Emily as well. Let's get into our champions here. This guy's been around for a long time and put on an incredible performance in the Huntington Beach Longboard Classic. Happens to be a 3-time world champ, now starting off the year number 2 in the world. Let's hear it for the man from Southern California, Taylor Jensen. Taylor, so cool. You've been here so many times, and obviously a repeat from the final last year. It's got to be fun when you see Kaniela Stewart's name in the draw when you get to compete against him.
Yeah, super fun, a little terrifying. He's getting really good, obviously. But yeah, I was just stoked to get fun Huntington all week and get to surf heats with friends, and yeah, just enjoyed it.
Number 2 in the world, moving on. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's good. That's the goal, right? Kind of start building house and yeah, moving on to bells. I'm excited.
Let's hear it for Taylor. Speaking of 3-time world champions, let's get behind this surfer from the North Shore of Oahu. Your runner-up in the women's final, Honolulu Bloomfield. Congrats, Ono. Another kind of repeat moment from the final last year. Had it been fun to get through a lot of great heats again and showing that you've got a special connection with this place. How'd your surfing feel for you?
Oh, you know, it felt pretty good. It's always fun to surf finals with Kelis. We've done it quite a few times now. But yeah, I think it's a good start to the year for me, and I'm really happy. So congrats, Kelis. And yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Enjoy the moment. Let's hear it for Hono. And now let's hear it for your champion of the men's event, kicking off the season, number 1 in the world, Kaniela Stewart. Congratulations, what a special feeling. Got off to a great start in that final with Taylor. I saw you guys at the end kind of sitting really close to each other, but you guys had some big smiles on your faces. What were you guys talking about with a couple of minutes to go?
It was pretty funny. He was asking me how I scored an 8, and I was laughing. He was laughing, and it was fun.
Really cool. What is it about Taylor that brings out greatness in your surfing?
This guy's the best of the best. Definitely look up to him, and I watch a lot of his surfing. And yeah, the goal is just to win a world title and bring it back home to Hawaii.
Have you been to Bells in El Salvador before?
I have not yet, but I can't wait.
What a brand new year. Congrats, you're number 1 in the world. Best of luck, best of waves.
Thank you guys, aloha.
Kaniela Stewart, your champion of the Huntington Beach Longboard Classic. Another great champion, also like Connie, representing Waikiki. Let's hear it for your champ, Kelis Kaleopa'a. Congratulations, a special performance against someone that you admire quite a bit. A repeat final again, just like the men's story. Why do you think that's happening? The same Final Four at this event?
It was actually really fun and kind of interesting to have all of us up here again. But surfing with Hono, you know, she's a 3-time world champ. She really pushes you, and I needed that for the final.
Connie, your cousin?
He's all right. I'm just kidding. No, like, we've always planned on winning events together and hopefully a world title, so this was such a really good start.
How does it feel to be number 1 in the world?
It feels good, you know, like everybody else said. Shut up. Just building that momentum for the rest of the year.
Enjoy every moment, Kelis.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Kelis Kaleopa'a, your champion and number 1 in the world. What a great year we have. We've got Bells, El Salvador, a top 8 situation for the Malibu Championships in October. Things are looking great on the Longboard Tour. Let's now hear it for your runner-up, the Men's Challenger Series Final. This guy is incredible, representing San Clemente, California, Crosby Colapinto. Special day for Cross. Congratulations, my friend. This has got to be incredible. And knowing that, you know, your brother's been in the final here in the past, but I think every part of your friends and family crew is here on the beach really backing you. What is that? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it was great. You know, I had my whole family here, my grandparents and my dad, and my brother was coaching me. So it was a super special contest just to be home and surf in front of my people, and shout out to my grandparents and my whole family because I wouldn't be here without them. So yeah, it was just a really fun event, and I love Huntington.
So many strengths from you throughout this event. How cool is it seeing Eli's name in the final here at the U.S. Open?
Yeah, it was epic. Just the other week we were on a surf trip and we got absolutely skunked, and you know, we had to like keep our heads straight and be like, oh, it's okay, like we're getting no waves, but it's all good. And we were saying, oh, this is going to get us ready for the U.S. Open, and it did. So it was really fun to share that final with Eli because we travel a lot together, and we're just all pushing each other, and it was really nice to see Eli win too.
Thanks for inspiring us once again, Cros. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you.
Crosby Colapinto, your runner-up. Let's now hear it for your runner-up in the women's final, someone we've seen for a long time competing in the world title race, Australia's own Sally Fitzgibbons. Sally won this event back in 2011. And along with 12 championship tour events in her amazing career, Sally, always special seeing you compete. I love how you redefine yourself for every single season with just unbridled enthusiasm. Really enjoyed your performance, but hearing from you, what's your biggest takeaway from another great event?
Just all of you out here, the energy you bring down to the beach. It's been near on 20 years now coming to this event. And now watching your kids come down here and pick up their boards, I don't know, that's the bit that really hits me hard. And you get down there and they're just so excited to watch you ride waves and go out and do it for themselves. So, yeah, just thank you to everyone, especially back home as well. They're all online, waking up early. And the Aussie women's soccer team are up next, so go the Matildas.
That's right. Mom's birthday?
It is also Mum's birthday, so big happy birthday to Mum, and yeah, a lot of things have to go right for me to stand up here this week, and I'm just so grateful for that, and to still be here and still be energized, and thanks to the next generation like Sawyer, champion today, and they're kind of the ones that are putting the energy in my legs, and you know, they're encouraging me to continually evolve, so thank you, and yeah, see you next year.
Congratulations, Sally Fitzgibbons. In a great spot to get back on the championship tour. And now let's hear it for your champion, representing Lahaina, Maui, Eli Hanneman. What a special day. Eli, this is incredible. I've been loving how you've been kind of sharing the ups and downs of competitive surfing through your social media, talking about how hard it is just to win a heat at this level, but to win a Challenger Series event and the prestige of the U.S. Open, does this feel real at the moment?
No, not even close. But yeah, I don't know. I just had this like weird feeling all week. Like I've been in this event. I was in the first round, so I've been in this event for like feels like 2 weeks. But yeah, I just felt like I don't know. I just felt God's presence and inside of me the whole entire week, and I just felt calm and collected and confident, and I'm just happy to go out and execute.
9 to kick off the final? What did that feel like?
To be honest, I was like so locked in, I don't even remember, but it didn't feel like a 9, but I got to go watch the replay and just, I don't know. I would say see what I did wrong, but I won, so I'm fine.
You didn't. I can tell you what you did, but we'll get back to that later. Then you backed it up without priority. It kind of looked like you were lights out at that point. Crosby obviously had the role of sitting priority. You were just having a free surf. Did you have adrenaline kind of firing you up after the 9?
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like it was better than the first 9 that I got, or it wasn't a 9. It was like an 8, 9. But yeah, I mean, you never are too sure at this level. Like guys can get 2 8s in a matter of like 5 minutes. So I wasn't counting Crosby out at any point in that heat. And yeah, this feels fake.
What's the plan tonight?
I don't know, but I'm going to go hang out with all my friends for sure.
Enjoy every second of it, Eli.
Thank you.
Your champion of the Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico. Sally was just talking about the next generation. I remember seeing Sally surf here when she was about similar age. I couldn't believe how fast she was going here at Huntington Pier. And what a special day for a surfer that represents California and San Clemente just down the road. Let's hear it for your champion, Sawyer Lindblad. Sawyer, this is incredible. I really loved all the words that you gave to the crowd over on the Gold Coast when you made the final there. And you were feeding off all this love that you had from your great support crew. It feels like that's when you turn in your best surfing and you got to get this major win. Is this the best win of your career? And how does it feel to get it at home?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've gotten so many seconds in my life, so this is definitely a pinnacle moment in my surfing career. I just knew, like, before the heat, there's no way I'm getting second. I'm just going to go out there and try my hardest, and I'm happy I got to came through with the win.
Kind of different from Eli, where he got the big score early in that heat. Sally got the 7 early on you. Were you doubting yourself at that point?
Not really. I knew that I needed to stay calm and confident, and it was honestly really hard. Like, she put a lot of pressure on me at the beginning of the heat, and I knew that I just needed to surf my absolute best to come back.
What did she say to you at the end of that final?
She just said to enjoy the moment.
I think that's what you should do. Congrats, Sawyer. You're a legend.
Thank you.
Time to celebrate. Thank you, everybody, for showing up once again. This has been a very special event. Once again, for all of our finalists, all of our champions on the Longboard Tour as well. Thanks for having us, Huntington Beach, and we'll continue on the broadcast with the 8:05 post show. Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Joe Turpel, an icon of surfing. And look at that lineup. What a finals day we had. An emotional awards presentation as well for many different reasons. So in looking back, right, finals day, the 9th day of the action here at the Wall-X US Open of Surfing, again, it was a roller coaster ride from the jump, and thankfully the waves stayed with us. So it's time to break down exactly how it all happened. You know, just like Eli Hanneman said, it feels kind of surreal, right? After all of that surfing, and then things get immediate, right? When today started, we just knew that we were going to be in for a long, exciting ride. So here is your final bracket for our women. On the Challenger Series, Sawyer Lindblad, I mean, she did it the hard way as well, going through Luana Silva, Ellie Harrison, and in the end, taking out one of the greatest surfers of all time in Sally Fitzgibbons. And she told Joe right there how special this win was. And, you know, to be 17 years old and to get a victory like this early on in her career must be just an incredible feeling. And here's how she did it. Pure power surfing style, fluidity. She did it all the right way. I mean, and, you know, you can just tell that she is on to a huge start for her career, Mitch.
The energy was in her favor in the final, and she was trailing for a big portion of it too, but dropping a 7.6 on this wave right here, and then the 8.93 before, she was lights out when she got her 2 best waves, Matt.
But Sally started really well, leading for half the heat, super solid with her surfing. She came out of the gates with over a 7-point ride, put the pressure on early, but Sawyer, with her explosiveness, just put the pressure back on the veteran, but she didn't go down without a fight. So Sally fighting back the whole way, and you just knew she wasn't going to leave it right to the last second. She was going to keep coming and coming and coming, but in the end, Sawyer got the win.
Yeah, Sally has always been a relentless competitor, and everything has to go right if you want to beat Sally Fitzgibbons. There's your scores right there, an 8.93 and a 7.60. That brings us to where we stand now on the Women's Challenger Series. You're looking at this top 10, and the names we have that have already shuffled up and down are incredible. Sally Fitzgibbons right there in that number 1 spot. Sawyer Lindblad jumps up to 3rd. India Robinson drops 1 spot to 4th. Bronte McCulley solid in 5th. So, of course, these numbers are going to switch up as we're really kind of just getting started on the Women's Challenger Series, but only a handful of events yet to come. So big things happening on the Challenger Series for the men and the women. We're getting a preview of what we're going to see on the 2024 Championship Tour. And Mitch, things look so promising for the women's CS.
Yeah, and there's 3 people that are tied at 7th place, too. Luana Silva, Sarah Bauman, and Alyssa Spencer. Really like what I'm seeing from a lot of young prospects. I think Vagina Fierro still has a lot more to prove. but I feel that both Sarah Baum and Alyssa Spencer still have 2 events to go, and going on the back end over there to Portugal is going to be beneficial to them. I feel like it's their best weapon. Saquarema, to me, is going to be the most challenging event that's remaining on the CS.
Well, we all know it's going to be a really fun season to watch, the Challenger Series. Well, Cup Noodles has been presenting the wave of the day throughout this 9-day event, and today's wave of the day came through at the right time for the right guy, Eli Hanneman, with the back 5 straight into another series of maneuvers. Wax, this was a wave that looked like it really came out of nowhere, and he fully maximized the potential on this.
And that creativity mixed with that explosiveness, it just showed that he was ready to go on finals day, and he demanded that 9, because look at this, he just tees off perfect. He didn't have to go that extreme. It was one of the first waves that he'd surfed in this heat, but he shuffled his feet back and he kept going to town all the way to shore. He just demanded that score, and that's what they gave him.
Yeah, and he's always had springs for legs. He's been doing airs like that since he was about 7 years old. But guess what? They're getting bigger and better with every season. So congrats again, another accolade for Eli Hanneman. Now looking back to the Huntington Beach Longboard Classic, your final bracket for the men. This was another really entertaining division to watch. Taylor Jensen coming through in the quarterfinals to meet with Kaniela Stewart in a repeat performance for both of these 2 surfers. Pretty cool too, because you're looking at pretty contrasting styles. You know, Kaniela Stewart coming from, I guess, the new school of traditional longboarding, and everything he did all week long looks so good, so smooth. I mean, this guy just oozes style.
And he had his hands full in his semi-final just to get here, but he was feeling it from the outset, and just hearing that Kelis had taken the win, his cousin, he was ready and raring to go with no nerves, but he capitalized on these choppy mid-sized waves, which turned out to actually be set waves. But Taylor just dropped anchor, waited for the sets, much like Crosby in the Challenger final as well.
Yeah, and I think Connie's maturity and his complexion as a competitor now has obviously changed drastically in the last year, coming up against last year's champion, Taylor Jensen. As we see there, no slouch either. I mean, he can do it on rail, he can do it with the nose rides as well. It just seems like the wave selection was a bit better in the final. That's why Connie was able to get the excellent score and the great backup afterwards. But you got to be very happy for Taylor Jensen starting off the World Championship run with a runner-up finish, Chris.
Yeah.
Pretty good start to the season.
This guy's an absolute beast. I mean, he's going to be doing this for 20 more years. He is that good. And for Kaniela Stewart to beat Taylor Jensen in waves that I would say favor Taylor just because he has so much experience here. That right there is going to be a huge momentum burst for Kaniela, who now sits on top of the world. Your men's longboard championship tour, current number 1 is Kaniela Stewart. Taylor Jensen will be your number 2. But another huge story that transpired right here in Huntington Beach was the story of the surfer from the Philippines who may not have won the event, but definitely won the hearts and minds of this crowd. Nobody, I'm talking nobody, Kanoe Igarashi, Griffin Colpin, no surfer had a bigger fan base on this beach than our surfer from the Philippines. What a story there.
Rogelio Escobar, remember that name. If you go on Facebook or Instagram, there's hashtags going, and he has that number 15 on a jersey that some of his fans had made and were wearing down on the beach. So that shows you the enthusiasm of the fans.
It was crazy to me that we had a crowd so big, and they were very loud too. I actually think they outmatched the San Clemente crew that was down here supporting both champions on the Challenger Series side. Really cool to see a lot of support for the Filipino surfer.
Yeah, and I would say that's one of those moments that's going to stay with us for quite some time. A really cool, special thing to be a part of, to see the rise of RJ from the Philippines. And right there, I mean, helping really put the surfing of the Philippines on the map. And we'll see, because we know that that scene is going to be growing by leaps and bounds.
The regional qualification series is the biggest breakthrough. 5 years ago, chatting about it in the early days and just seeing where longboarding could go, and that cultural evolution that we've seen through the Longboard Tour, thanks to so many people. But this is the evidence right here. We have uncovered this talent, and we knew he was talented, but he just hadn't had the stage to do it. He had a recent show in the ISA, but really this has elevated him to a new height, and we'll see where he goes and how he goes at Bells.
Oh, and more to come for sure. Well, the Huntington Beach Longboard Classic women's division, of course, shined a spotlight on some of the most beautiful surfing we've ever seen in competition here in Huntington Beach. And Kelis Kaleopa'a, again, no easy run. She had to go through past champions to get to the finals. Honolulu Bloomfield, a 3-time world champion herself, in a rematch from last year And it felt like it had that push and pull that we saw from all of our finals. Both surfers getting involved quickly, dropping big scores. What was the difference in Kelis's performance to take over this final?
It was just those clean turns mixed with the nose riding as well, but the dynamic finish keeping the flow, grace and style throughout her whole performance.
And we got to point out that the quarterfinal and the semifinal finish for her was due to those back against the wall performances that she needed against both Rachel Tilley, and in the final here against Honolulu Bloomfield, I feel like the biggest moment was definitely the lefts rather than the rights. It just seems like the rights were a bit flatter, whereas the lefts were standing up a bit more. Close final though. Great performance by Hono, but Kaleopa'a getting another victory here.
Yeah, this just shows you where we're at. The current state of modern women's longboarding is in excellent hands. Every wave was a beautiful story.
It was, and Mitch is right. The lefts really told the tale with Kaniela getting some of his best scores, and obviously Eli as well, and Sawyer on the left. So, right's looking good. Judges loving the lefts because it disappeared for 5 days.
That's true, and we do have a wave of the day as well. As you see the scoreline for our surfers there, the Women's Longboard Tour, the Championship Tour, right now in the hands of Kelis Kaleopa'a. She is your current world number 1. Honolulu Bloomfield, pretty much right where she belongs, up there in the top 2. That's going to be a fun battle to watch throughout the season as well. Congrats to Sophia Colhay and Soleil Erica on great performances as well. Your Cup Noodles wave of the day for the longboard division goes to, drum roll please, of course, the smooth stylings of this young man from Queens on the South Shore of Hawaii.
Cool, calm and collected sums up Kaniela Stewart. Style well beyond his years, and he clicks the heels there, runs all the way back, and he finishes with a dynamic rail turn just to top that one off. Kani, the showman, the beach boy, but he's proving as a seasoned competitor that he's no one to be messed with.
Hey, was the afro still dry on that wave too?
I think his hair was dry.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy. That thing gives him powers, but hey, awesome to see him win, and for the first time getting it here in Huntington Beach, I think even better. It's the cherry on top of the cake, Chris.
Absolutely, and that sets us up for a really fun year on the WSL Championship Tour for longboarding, with much more to come. Well, we're going to take a quick break after you see these awesome visuals of our champions getting chaired up the beach. Your top 5 moments are coming up and more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The 8:05 post show continues.
Draushianka makes it through there. Shombinho.
The end boss is near. The Rip Curl WSL Finals is around the corner, and I don't want to freak anybody out, but literally next week there's a monster lurking in the South Pacific at the end of the road. Shiseido Tahiti Pro coming up as well. I know surf fans, this is your favorite time of the year. Tahiti, trestles, it all comes down to this. The excitement levels have been building throughout the entire season, and the final 5 picture is actually starting to tighten up a little bit. A lot of those spots are clinched and filled, but there are a few surfers still in the hunt for potential glory in the upcoming Rip Curl WSL Finals. Let's start it off with your WSL Final 5 picture for our Women's Championship Tour. Here's what it looks like right now. 1 spot up for grabs is Carissa Moore. We've got Tyler Wright second, Caroline Marks in third, Molly Picklum in that 4th spot, Caitlin Simmers right now in the hunt in 5th. 6, we've got Lakey Peterson, Steph Gilmore, Tatiana Weston Webb, Gabriella Bryant. Mitchell, I'm going to ask you first, who is going to fill that 5th spot?
I think we're keeping Katie Simmers right there in number 5, but I do feel like there is a chance that both Caroline and Molly could flip-flop positions, and there is a change in positioning right there because you wouldn't have to surf an extra heat. Wow, both Carissa and Tyler are very far up front, though. I mean, I don't see anybody knocking out Carissa from number 1.
And Matt, in looking at that list right there, last year, the ultimate Cinderella story with Steph Gilmore going from 5 to 1, all in the span of one day. Do you think there's a possibility that Carissa Moore is going to let that happen again?
I don't think so. I think Lakey Peterson will jump in. I can see that as a little bit of a smoky. I can see her coming and charging. She's given it a big, hard go in the past, and I think she's got what it takes to clinch that spot. A few things have to go her way, obviously. Same with Steph, but I think Lakey could clinch that.
Yeah, it's easy. All you have to do is throw yourself over the ledge at the scariest wave on the planet. So good luck to our women as they head towards Tahiti. Now let's talk about the men. A little bit more breathing room here in your WSL Final 5 snapshot. Toledo, Ethan Ewing, Griffin Colapinto, they are locked in. Chianca, Dora, Medina, the three-headed monster from Brazil, all trying to work themselves into that top 5. And I love that we have so many surfers still in the hunt. Mitch, who's got the best shot here?
Well, I don't think Joao Chianca is still settled in at number 4, but there is a huge amount of separation between 4 and 5. I actually like John John's chances, but looking at the forecast, I'm going to have to go with Medina and Dora actually making 4 and 5 right there.
All right, that's a great call. And, Matt, when you're looking at this list, so for the men and for the women in the top 5, we still have to figure out where they're going to be in order. That'll happen after the Shiseido Tahiti Pro. And again, on the men's side, Toledo, lower trestles, of course, that's a big story, but then you got to factor in Griffin Colapinto and whoever else gets to slide in those last 2 spots.
If Jack Robinson makes a late charge, we know his air game's there and he's got something to prove. But there's also one way down the rankings. Ryan Callanan, he feels like he's underdone a little bit in previous events, and I feel like he really could go crazy and make a late charge.
From two top 5s to one more top 5 here to wrap up our event. Of course, we had 9 days of action to choose from, thousands of waves to look at. I want to give full credit to our crew behind the scenes for going through all these waves and giving us our top 5. Number 5, Connor Coffin. Final heat in a jersey, but do not say the word retirement. This guy's got a lot left for us surf fans, and thankfully, he is now free to roam the world and put together some incredible video parts. I can't wait to see what Connor does next.
Absolutely. Even just on that wave, you see style and flow carrying through the maneuvers, and I have a feeling that whatever he puts out in the next few months or years will include those 2 words, style and flow.
So it's a lot more than just, heats and winning and surfing, emotional moments down here, Mitch. That was a really fun and special thing to be a part of. Connor Coffin taking off the jersey, but keeping on the jersey, we know Silvano Lima's got a lot left in the tank in terms of competitive surfing. Did the best air we saw from any female in the draw. That was awesome.
No, and got the best score of the event off of it, too, a 9.33, showing she's still got what it takes to compete at the highest level, Chris.
Always exciting to watch. Cole Hauschman has locked in his spot on the 2024 Championship Tour with surfing like this. Qualified for the CT, made it official in Huntington Beach.
And he has the body shape to prove that he can do it on the CT, throwing so much water. He was surfing very stylish, but he could have gone a lot further in this competition, was clinched in the last 10 seconds, so he wasn't able to progress, but he was surfing so well.
It must be tough to get the best news of your life, like midway through your work week. You can imagine, you win the lottery at your job. Do you finish that week, or do you start partying right there? Your number 3 moment, Cole Hauschman making it official, qualifying for the 2024 Championship Tour. Mitch, our women's longboarders, again, you can't say enough. They put on an epic show for all of us, inspiring stylists all over the world to try their best to surf like this, but I tell you, Kelis Kaleopa'a, she is a special, special surfer.
And both of them getting wins coming from Waikiki and that part of Honolulu. But look at the style. That fade from Kaniela Stewart is a thing of beauty. Great to see him get his first win here in Huntington Beach with great conditions on offer.
Yeah, and no surprise and fitting that the titles both go back to Hawaii.
Absolutely. They put a lot of time in. You can tell the preparation in the background. Someone who's prepared a lot. Here we have our number 1.
This is going to be a big time celebration in San Clemente for Sawyer Lindblad. She's still a junior. She's 17 years old, and she just won the Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing, Mitch.
And both our champions on the Challenger Series side, peaking at the right time, having their best moments and their best heats in the final. Here we see a 9-point ride from Eli Hanneman. Was loving the performance and the energy that he brought to these final performances, Chris.
I mean, this kid's got a lot of pop in his surfing. He did it with progression, high performance, big airs, 540s, everything we wanted to see here in Huntington Beach. So again, 9 days of surfing behind us, the whole season to finish in front of us. It's been an awesome week down here. I think the main takeaways, of course, is surfing is at yet another new level since last year here in Huntington Beach. I want to thank you, of course, for lending your expertise to both Challenger Series and longboarding. What's your main takeaway from this year's Wallex U.S. Open?
I think the judging is in such a good position. It's so nice for us to do our job and our role to critique and analyze the surfing, and you can actually take faith in what's going on upstairs. And I think the competitors can all agree that it feels like the pattern is carried right through the 9 days, and that's incredibly hard.
What about you, Mitch?
I like to see new names on the podium. Like seeing Eli Hanneman, love seeing Sawyer Lindblad on there. It's great to see a couple of surfers from the area thrive, but really nice to see Sally Fitzgibbons getting another final result here. On the longboard side, though, really stoked to see both Malia Kaleopa'a move through, Kelis, and I think Kaniela Stewart is going to move on to World Championship at the end of this year. I'm calling it. Malibu, that's going to be Kaniela's, and maybe even Kelis' first world title, Chris.
Well, you picked both winners on the Challenger Series from here today, so congrats to you as well, Mitch. You're a winner in my book, too. Well, hey, on behalf of all of us here at the WSL, all the people right here, all the people behind the scenes, we want to thank you all for watching. You surf fans, you did it, and you gave us the energy that we needed to get through an awesome event, and we can't wait to see what happens next. We'll see all of you in Tahiti. Surf fans, start your stoke. The Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing. Today is finals day. These are elite level longboarders, and here we go, our first look at Sophia Colhane. She gets up to the nose. Kelis Kaleopa'a is on a gem of a wave, straight to the nose. Waiting for scores, and it comes through just one time, put them up for me. Get on the nose and pose Soleil Erico with a nice little hang 10 to start this wave. Your finals are set for the women here at the Huntington Beach Longboard Classic.
Stoic in his approach on that nose ride. Big snap there.
Yo, pick it up, drop down. Until you can't feel the ground. And if you know what is good for you, then do it all again and turn around. We up all night.
We got our longboard final set. Let's get into the Challenger Series.
You're watching the semifinals here. Sawyer Lindblad taking the left right out front. Wedge setting up for the Australian. Sawyer is into a final. Will be Sally Fitzgibbons in the final. Nolan Raposa taking on Crosby Colapinto.
Crosby Colapinto doing it for San Clemente.
I came to rock, I came to rock.
Lahaina Maui's Eli Hanneman. He's on to the final.
2023 Huntington Beach Longboard Classic winner, Kelis Kaleopa'a.
Everybody don't stop.
Clean sweep for the Hawaiians here at the pier. Congratulations to Kaniela Stewart.
Sawyer Lindblad is your champion of the Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing. Your champion of the Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico, Eli Hanneman. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.